Yo, what's up, guys? This is Mr. Determined, and so it's been a while since I've been creating content and whatnot, but I may be back for a little bit. And I wanted to go over Nasdaq future secrets for beginners in 2025. So, if you guys are still struggling out there and looking to see what strategy to use, you're jumping back and forth, you try one thing and then you do another, or you try one thing, you see a little bit of success, or you see the success when it comes to backtesting, and then you do it live, and then you're just, for whatever reason, it just doesn't work. Well, if you've been doing that and you're tired of doing that, I got the strategy for you. And this is something that you can forward test right away. You can go ahead and backtest it too. It works either way. But I'm saying that you can forward test this as soon as you see it, as soon as you know the signature and price and move right away, because once you apply this, you will not want to go back to anything that you know. So first thing is first, I want to go over the trade that was taken today. And so let me show you guys here. This is exactly what you want to be doing. So here's the trade here that activated. Now this is what I like to see. I like to see one gap right here. So what constitute a gap? Will constitute a gap in this area. Now, for example, this is my square here. Okay. What constitute a single gap? I want to see a single gap. Okay, that's number one. And so when you see a single gap, which is here, you have this candle close, and then you got this big old candle here. Let me grab my tool actually. Then you got this big old candle here, and then you got this candle over here on this side. Now that creates a gap, right? And you pretty much end up with this. Okay. Now, you normally want to see a regular one single gap. Now, I get it. You see another one right here, and that's fine. Sometimes it's going to be fine. All right. It just depends on your risk tolerance. At this point, I've been using this. I've been trading with this, and this thing is amazing. This strategy is amazing. Now, this is for Nasdaq futures, and you can also apply this for S&P 500 or ES. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my square tool. This is where I'm gonna grab that. You can grab your square tool, and I have a little line here that will show the 50% line. And I actually went ahead and drew it, not from here, but I went ahead and added the whole thing from here to the top. Okay. Once I do that, obviously the market is right here, so we don't know what's gonna happen, right? And so obviously, if you're looking at this and you're like, oh yeah, these are inversions, and well, obviously yes, they are inversions. It's just, however, sometimes we don't know how far, or we really don't know if they're actually gonna work or not, right? So what I like to do is I like to wait and see for this inversion to close above, and then after I see that, I would like to see the market come back down to at least mean threshold, which is, or excuse me, 50% of this whole gap area. Now it's fine if you do it here as well. It did it as well. I just like to make sure if there's like two gaps, even though it's not too big, I still like to include it because the market can go down there, and you can see that it did, right? And there's obviously one gap here as well. The gap here, there's a gap over here as well. So this doesn't matter though. What matters is the inversion that was created because the market was going down at one point, and then as we continue moving the screen to the right, you can see the candle started printing going higher, right? Higher prices. After that, once you get confirmation, and by the way, this is on my 2-minute time frame, so keep that in mind. 2-minute time frame. Once you see the close above of the whole gap, it becomes an inversion gap now. So that means is instead of going down, prices are going to start heading higher. Okay. Once you see that, then you can go drop down into the 30-second or the 15-second. Okay. And let's go ahead and drop that over here. Let's go ahead and move my, here's the thing. Okay. Let's go ahead and move that. Here we are. Okay. Now this is the 15-second right there. Now let me show you guys how that looks like. So this is exactly what happened in the 15-second. Now you can see it actually in the 30-second. Oops, actually you can't see it there. Let me go here. I'm gonna move it back this way. Now let me go here. So you can see how that looked like in the 30-second. But if we go to the 15-second, you can see how that was created. You can see it's the same exact gap. It's just that the difference here is that instead of trying to get in on the 2-minute time frame, because this is just a huge gap, you don't want to do that. What I like to do is get that extra confirmation. And so when there is one gap in the higher time frame confirming the movement going higher, and then you have these nice equal highs here, that is a very nice indication that the market's going to continue higher. And you can see that pushing higher. And so as soon as you get the inverse here, you can see how the market just continue to climb up, and that looks just really, really nice. And so that's exactly what you want to do. You want to wait for the market to close above, come back down to 50% retracement of the gap. Keep in mind, the gap here must be singular. I cannot stress that enough. It must be singular, or else if you try to do too many gaps, like for example here and here, there's so many gaps right there, it's not worth it. Or like let's say here, not to say that you can't do it, it can work. However, that has to do with more of experience, especially because you have gaps here and gaps here where the market can use to bounce right back up going higher. However, nonetheless, this still can work. It just, like I said, when each gap gets taken out, you can see the market really doesn't pull back unless you were looking at this right here. Maybe that almost pulled back a little bit, but not entirely. It wasn't entirely it. And so, and either way, I don't think you'd be able to catch that. That's just the way less. You want something big. Usually when it's like a whole inversion, a huge inversion like this, you do get a nice little pullback, such as this right here. You may not see it like I showed you right in the 30-second time frame. You may not get it here, but you can see how in the 15-second. Let me go ahead and copy this. I'm gonna put it here. You can see on the 15-second there was a close above this range gap. Now I actually was a little bit late for the party here, and let me go ahead and show you. Let me go ahead and text markers only, so you can see where I got it. I was a bit late. I was actually looking at a 1-minute area as well, which aligned with the 15-second up here. This what I like to call this a volume imbalance. And that's really when it went in. When I was ready to go in, I was just calculating my debt to ratio and how much I wanted to risk in this trade. And so you can see this was a good $200. And then if we go in here, 200 to go to 400, and this was perfect 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. However, I was very confident that this was going to get to the top here, and you can see that's where I closed my position. And that was actually a very nice, almost 2.5 or so. So 1, 2, yeah, at least around 2.5 risk to reward to get these double tops here. And this was during the silver bullet hour, which many of you trade or have looked into ICT and maybe have seen a lot of videos with silver bullet title on it. This is easily a silver bullet trade setup. However, it's a lot different because you're combining inversions, which is also ICT taught. You're combining inversions, and within that, I'm also combining a smaller inversion here as well within the higher time frame inversion. And the reason why I do that is because it just adds a lot more confirmation, and it adds a lot more weight to the trade as opposed to just getting in here. Because many times, what will happen is now it's really a 50-50, and it just depends on your risk tolerance. I know traders that will get in here and will hold all this move until it gets to that. And for me, I like smaller risk. I rather risk a lot less and be able to still take advantage of the move. Not to say that, not to say that this also has a lot more percentage win ratio, because sometimes a lot of moves you're gonna miss them because sometimes we'll just keep going higher, and so it just is what it is. It just depends on your risk tolerance. And if you're anything like me, just your risk tolerance, you just need more extra confirmation. This is really it. This is really the extra confirmation, and the only confirmation you'll ever need. You got it? So after that, you know, you take the trade and then you let the thing do what it has to do. Okay, like there's not much else to think about it. Once you see it, you get in and you take advantage. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. These are the secrets of Nasdaq for 2025. Do not let this strategy get away. I can talk about it more in other videos. I know I was very used to trading the 2022 model, and I had videos on that and how to take liquidity out of the picture. But as a trader, I definitely grown a lot more, and although my strategy still aligns with some of the 2022 model, I have really been honing my skills a lot in the inversion stuff and doing this. And I just feel that, you know, if you're not growing, you're kind of staying stagnant, and it really just depends on, you know, just what comes a lot more natural. And this is just something, a signature in the market that I kept seeing. Right, and obviously inversions are not new. There's a lot of people that teach inversions. I know that. I'm just saying that within an inversion, if you see another inversion, just like how I'm showing you here, it becomes really, really powerful. And to me, like I said, it just gives you that confidence that you need to get in with a low risk and very, you know, still get a very good reward in the process. And so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I will be I'll also be looking into posting some more prop firm stuff, which I'm definitely funded with already a few companies, and also doing some challenges as well. So keep a lookout on that. And just a quick little glimpse here as well. I kind of wanted to go over. I'm also using TradeSync as well. And this thing has been amazing. I'm currently trading about 32 prop firms, including my own personal live account as well. Month. Is that a month? No, they're still in beta. Like I said, I have 37 active accounts. These are trades, losses, wins, etc. I'm currently at a 64%. And yeah, profit view what I currently have right now. I don't know why it says flex trial. I don't have a trial account. That doesn't look right. Using them, etc. But yeah. Oh, okay, now I see now. So this is what I currently have. I have the flex account, and so I'm not sure why it says trial though. Current plan flex trial. My trial is already over. I got the yearly. I switched to the annual, and you can get unlimited connections and about 120 accounts. It's really neat. So anyways, I'm just taking full advantage of it. I have a few prop firms, like I said, I'm already working with, and I'll definitely be, if you guys are, well, put it this way, if you guys are more interested in that, then definitely drop a comment, let me know, and yeah, enjoy the video. Have a good one, guys.